Okay, so we're in day 2 of me being in my mood, if you will, or should I say me unpacking me being in my mood. And this video here is what I would describe to be my conclusion of me unpacking my mood. So, of course, as you know, I've shared my experiences with being disappointed in my day yesterday, with a number of things happening that caused me to be further invested in me continuing and being in this low frequency of a mood. I acknowledge the fact that I had ample opportunity to get out of that funk, if you will, and still chose not to for my own reasons. Today I'm going to say I'm grateful for that, because I acknowledge today that I needed to be in the frequency that's best to receive, and that's the frequency of gratitude. And that is the frequency that I try to stay in. And anytime I'm in a low frequency, I know that I'm not in a gratitude or a frequency that's pliable. So I woke up today slightly elevated compared to yesterday, because generally that is the baseline for me. I'm generally a very grateful person. I'm very appreciative. I'm very appreciative even in my disappointments, and that's why today I realize how grateful I am, even for myself, acknowledging my feelings, me acknowledging the fact that I was outside of my norm, and me acknowledging the fact that I needed to sit in it, because I am now on the other side of that, and I see that it was a good thing for me. Not that the experiences were necessarily a good thing for me, but the fact that I allowed myself to feel what I felt with those experiences, and the fact that I now understand more that those experiences would present it to me so that I could then respond in a way that would communicate a language that I would understand. And that's why today I'm grateful for me acknowledging what I was feeling yesterday, because I am on the other side of that, and there's a lot to be learned and received from that experience. And what I'm at is I need to give myself the credit for my feelings and acknowledge the fact that I need what I need. And what in conclusion, I come to terms with the fact that it became very apparent that the need for me to apply more attention in my own life for my own healing, I needed to do that. And so these experiences that I experienced helped me see that in fact these are good things, because they're showing me a version of myself that I'm not all that familiar with in these days, because it's not my baseline, and I wanted to pay attention to why I was feeling that way. And in getting to the root of why I'm feeling that way, I discovered the fact that I needed to do and spend some more time with me, and to actually give myself some more attention. And if you know me, you know that that's something I'm always doing, but I need to do some specific work on myself and give myself some specific attention. And so I'm just really grateful to be aware of that. I'm grateful to be able to receive that and be empowered by it even. This does not change my feelings. I am on the other side and my feelings are still there. the disappointment, the feelings that I had, they're still there. And that's more the reason why I'm going to continue to give myself the time that I need in order for me to transmute those feelings and those frequencies. And so I'm grateful for that. I can actually feel it and know it, but I don't have to necessarily carry it in a way where it doesn't serve me. I am now able to transmute these energies and now recognize them and use them for what they're for. And then when they're no longer able to serve me, drop them off. And so obviously these feelings have a way of serving me that I needed to do and experience what I experienced so that I could become more aware of the things that I needed for myself. And what I needed for myself was for me to give myself more attention. And that is a whole different focus. You know, I'm already working on myself, have been for some time, have been, unpacking my own issues for some time. And as I understand, you never get done. There's always going to be that. And so I appreciate just knowing that. Like, I turned 50 this year, and I remember describing the feeling that I was feeling when I was turning that 50, this 50. I felt like I just graduated high school. I felt like I was just getting a lease on life. Like, I definitely didn't feel like I was like so old and seasoned. I feel very new in this thing and still very fresh even. But with a nicest amount of wisdom that I am very appreciative for and to have. So with me unpacking that with my new 50-year-old mind, I'm embracing the fact that I'm allowing myself to feel how I feel and to acknowledge the fact that I need to do what I need to do for myself. I need to give myself the attention that I need. I need to allow myself to feel how I feel. And yeah, just be okay with that. There's more to be discovered, but just in its right time, things will be discovered. I have enough right now to at least get started with acknowledging the fact that, okay, I need to spend some more time with myself. And I did. I got up today. Yesterday I did get my dinner from Smokes, and because I was in that mode, the night pretty much it continued on. I mean, my meal, it was good, but it wasn't the best. I'm not saying like it was anyone's fault per se. There are factors that I'm responsible for that I could say maybe caused my meal not to be so good. But okay, I'll just unpack that real quick. They told me it would take only 15 minutes for my meal to be ready. I decided to come and do my video in the car while I wait for my meal. It definitely was, he said 30 minutes. So by the time I went in and got my meal, it had been sitting for some time. By the time I made it home, it was not fresh like I had wanted it. So that was that, and I attributed that to, again, the frequency that I was so invested in being in. I was in that low vibrational frequency. So basically, I took my meal. It was still good. I ate a little bit of it that I knew I was going to eat because I never eat the whole thing. So I got what I wanted out of it. And pretty much I ended my day in that. But I woke up today refreshed, renewed, and revisiting the fact that, this day, meaning yesterday, was, it was one for the books, but I didn't want it to be in vain. And so, although I didn't wake up necessarily with the same heaviness that I had yesterday, I still was very conscious of the fact that I experienced what I experienced and that there was a greater message in it for me. And so I continue my day with that attitude. The attitude of gratitude, of course, is part of my daily self-care ritual. So, I do my daily thing and I go for my walk and I decide that I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to fulfill the promises I made for myself today. And after my walk, I decided that I was going to go to one of my favorite places I like to go to get my, it's a pineapple coconut smoothie that I enjoy that's made at the Grand Chinese Kitchen. And it's over there on 87th Street, over here on 87th Street. I'm sitting outside of the restaurant now because I thought that this would be the best time to just go ahead and record and document this again. This is just so that I can, help unpack my mood and have a reference guide for myself, and actually be able to mark my growth in the future. So yes, today I'm in a better mood. I got my walk in. I feel definitely on a higher frequency today. I got a nice fresh smoothie here that I'm enjoying. And you know what else I got? On the way here, I knew Peace was right down the street. I'm like, and I really do not like coming to the Peace on 87th Street because the parking lot is small. The traffic is always congested. And so today I'm like, well, Nina, you walk pretty much 3-4 miles today. You can just walk down the block to Pete's and get you some corn. So yes, I pulled up. I ordered my my smoothie, and while I'm waiting, and I come outside and I'm looking at the marquee of Pete's. And Lord and behold, they have corn on sale for 39 cents a pound. So I'm going to make sure that I go home. I'm going to prepare the dinner that I wanted to prepare for my family. I'm going to do it with love. I'm going to do it with a great attitude because everything is designed to support me. I am grateful for me being able to deal with difficult times without totally losing it. And so I thanked myself today. I told myself, thank you. And I'm saying it again, thank you. I thank myself periodically for just showing up for myself because sometimes I don't even understand how it's me that really comes and show up for me until after the fact. And so I'm learning to kind of get in the habit of thanking myself and being more appreciative to myself and for myself, actually making the hard choices or having the hard conversations or, dealing with some difficult challenges and in the way that I do. Sometimes, people are not going to say congratulate you or, give you your pep talk or even say good job. Sometimes you got to do it for yourself. And I am one who I believe I should reward and tell myself good job. Yesterday was a rough day for me. And I wouldn't expect it to be the last rough day that I have. But I am grateful for being able to acknowledge when I'm having a rough day and acknowledge that it's only temporary. I know so many people can get really caught up in what life has, have them experiencing. And it can really be overwhelming. And it's a lot to unpack. And I'm grateful for me to have the tools to unpack my life and my moods even that I have. I'm no different than anyone else. And that's another reason why I wanted to record this because, again, most people who know me see me in a different frequency. They don't really see me at this frequency or that frequency, if you will. I wouldn't say that I'm totally up there right now because I am aware of the fact, that fine I was describing it's like a neutral, you know. Fine is just fine, but I want to be more than fine. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in that bliss mode, really, actually, because that's the frequency that I get to get whatever I want in that frequency. When you're in bliss mode, that's that love. That's the highest frequency. You know, that love frequency, that bliss mode. I really do love that frequency, and I like to resonate in it. But all the time, I'm not going to be there. I mean, could you just imagine if I was always, you know, I don't think my body can handle it, you know. So I'm still learning how to navigate these emotions and these feelings that I have. And I realize that it's okay to be aware that I can feel multiple things simultaneously. I've always been a very high spectrum of a high emotional person. What I mean by that is, my level of sensitivity has always been somewhat extreme, even as a child. I'm very intuitive, empathic, and my empathic, I don't want to say nature, but it allows me to, I feel so much simultaneously, and I always have for some time, and I didn't understand it, and that's part of what it is I'm working on now. I have to realize that it's because for the most part I can control it, but sometimes I'm not able to control, you know, the impact of the emotions that I feel. And you know, this is something that has been a lifelong assignment of mine. I'm learning more about myself and what makes me me, and that has always been me. And so I'm grateful to at least be able to find some, not just beauty, but a sense of relief, and knowing that there's a purpose behind it. I didn't always understand. I don't completely understand it now, but I at least now am encouraged to embrace it more, as opposed to making myself feel like I was weird. Which often I do feel weird at times, and that's okay too. Anyway, I digress. Today I just allow myself to just be. You know, just be. You know, I listen to someone who does a lot of affirmation poetry by the name of Tony Jones, and she says something in regards to I'm a human being, not a human doing. And that was so profound. That is so profound because, you know, a lot of us get so caught up in doing and don't really feel comfortable in ourselves just being. And I think that's my next assignment, possibly, to just be, you know, to remove the attachment of all the other things that I've allowed myself to be attached to. You know, maybe I need to drop some more things off. This is my assignment. Maybe this is how I get to learn more, that other part of me that I'm desiring to learn more about. It may require me to make a level of sacrifice, that I need these incremental experiences to take place for me to get the message. I'm still unpacking it, but I'm good with that. And I'm grateful to be able to articulate it and share it. Again, document it. I'm grateful for my life. I will still say my life is beautiful. I'm grateful for everyone in my life. You know, but even with that, I know things can be even better, and I want them to be better. And so in that quest of mine, I'm going to continue to show up for myself. And so when I find myself in a mood, I'm going to take responsibility for it. Okay? I'm not going to assign the responsibility to anyone outside of myself. I will take responsibility for my mood. As I shared, I chose to remain in that mood. That was a conscious choice. And we need to understand that whether we're conscious of it or not, we choose to be where we're at. And when we really understand the power that exists with that, then we understand that we have more control than we do of ourselves. Maybe we have no control of the things outside of ourselves, but we have the control over ourselves and how we internalize things and how we experience, how the experience has its impact, the impact that it has on us. I can choose to be hurt, or I can choose to be grateful. I choose to be grateful. I acknowledge the fact that, yeah, it's okay not to be okay. Yeah, disappointment is still there. Like, no, I don't like spending my money on things and not getting the value out of. I don't like that, and that's not gonna change. But the way that I respond to it can change. I do believe that all those things are able to be rectified, from the appointment, from the corn, even the situation with my dinner, with everything. Everything is always another way to do things. And that's why I know, and that's why I wanted to document it, because I knew that I was deliberately staying there because there was a bigger message for me. It was a bigger message for me. And I'm a person that pays attention to my feelings. I love feeling good. And so when I'm not feeling good, I ask myself the tough questions, Nina, why? And I got to the why. And I'm okay with the why. And it doesn't mean that the why is fixed. It's not fixed. It's a work. It's going to be some work involved. But I'm okay with that. I can be a little bit more focused. And speaking of focus, I brought up intentional blindness. I'm so grateful to be able to have that focus, to be able to lens check. And I use that term, lens check. It's a term that I've learned from my girl, Tony Jones. Lens check is when you can check the things right in front of you. And you can understand that sometimes things are not always as they seem. Sometimes we can understand communication in a whole different language. And sometimes you just got to check that lens. Sometimes you got to examine things a little closer, and see the other story that it's telling. Things are not always as they seem. Sometimes you got to tilt your head this way. Sometimes you might have to tilt your head that way. The point is, be careful. Be mindful of what it is that you're looking at. Learn to scrutinize it. Because we're in a matrix where things are very glitchy. And we get so accustomed to doing so much so fast. Like, we dismiss a lot of things in front of us all the time. Because there's so much our brains can hold on to for whatever reason. Okay? We drop off things on purpose. We hold on to things on purpose. But there's a version of us that knows all. Yes. And on that, I'm going to end this. I am so grateful to be where I'm at right now. And I'm going to be in a better mood. I hope I have helped myself and you. All right.